Auckland's North Shore, the home of Commodore in New Zealand. New Zealand's link with the Commodore Worldwide Network.
Welcome to the Breadbox, the channel dedicated to the Commodore 64. In my hands, an Amiga 500. Still Commodore, and I'm a huge fan of Commodore. The reason why I've got this in my hands is because a couple of weeks ago I did an unboxing video for content that came in for the Commodore Computer Museum here in New Zealand, and this was in one of the boxes. I'll show you why it's so important. Hopefully you can see that. Number 00076. Is this a genuine number 76 off the production line Amiga 500? A lot of people were asking that question. So what I'm going to do after the unboxing video this week of more content that's come in for the Commodore Computer Museum is we're going to open this up, and I'm really relying on your comments. After we open it up, please let me know in the comment section below if you feel this is a genuine number 76 Amiga 500. Okay, let's get started. Box number 1 of 3. One of the boxes I've got this week is really heavy, but we'll leave that for last because I've got a fair idea what's in there. I have no idea what's in these boxes though. These are all additions to the new Commodore Computers Museum that I'm making here in New Zealand, and I'll show you what I've got collected so far very soon. Okay, so I never would have guessed there's a box inside a box. This is surprisingly quite difficult, but I'll get there eventually. Okay. Oh, straight away I can see there's something pretty interesting. Yes, I know what this is. Any ideas? Yes, it's a boxed VIC-20. This box looks like it's in great condition. Oh, that's fantastic. Hopefully it's all complete inside as well. About 10,000 VIC-20s sold here in New Zealand in the 1980s. Here's an interesting little fact from the documentary. Thousands of VIC-20s were used in New Zealand farms across the country. Wow, it's even got the polystyrene intact. This is really nice. That Commodore logo, I just love that logo. Okay, well, it's a very yellow VIC-20. It looks like it's in really good condition. And looks like it's pretty complete as well. Well, you can really see how yellow it's got and the original colour on these vents. And underneath here you can see also the original colour as well. So this case definitely needs to be retro brighted. This VIC-20 actually looks like it's really quite complete. It's got everything here. It's got obviously the computer, the AC charger, and well, that's interesting. Which I didn't notice that. This is one of the earlier models of the VIC-20. It's got the original style power adapter before it goes to the style that the Commodore 64 later had as well. So that's very nice. But it's even got the external RF modulator, which is quite hard to find these with boxed Commodores. Just missing the, oh no, here it is. It's also got the cable that goes from the modulator to the TV. Very nice. This looks totally complete apart from the operations manual. But hey, that's great. Okay, let's continue opening up this box and see what other goodies are in here. I'll be using a lot of these items in the upcoming documentary as well, the history of Commodore computers in New Zealand. And this documentary is a real eye-opener. Okay, well, we've got some cornflakes. Love cornflakes, but nothing to do with Commodore. So I'll recycle that. It looks like we've got also a PC joystick, nothing to do with Commodore, but what I've learned is that whatever is what's in the box is totally sometimes different to what the box shows there. Okay, so this is definitely looks like a PC joystick. Yeah, okay. That's. Is there a way to convert these to be compatible with Commodore 64s or Amigas? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. Okay, here's an original Commodore joystick. This is one of the first joysticks I had, and they were quite robust, these ones. They lasted a long time. It's really great to have it in its box as well. And before I get to that Plus 4, here's some manuals. Well, for the Plus 4. Oh, that's good. And the Super Expander. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, but hopefully I'll find out in this box. Okay, before we get into this Plus 4, just check out what's in this Cartridge World bag. Oh, awesome. This is the user manual for the VIC-20 that I just unboxed, and this manual is great. Look at those speech bubbles. So easy to use. And we've also got the reference guide as well, so that's really great additions to the VIC-20. And a couple other little manuals as well. That's really cool. And I'm sort of leaving that Plus 4 to last. A data set unit. Looks like it's complete. I'll test it out later on. Oh, interesting price. Okay, the Plus 4. The Plus 4 was a bit of a flop in New Zealand, like it was around a lot of places in the world. Only about 4,000 units were sold here in New Zealand. And this is a really nice example as well. Look at the box is in perfect condition for its age. No Commodore logo. Oh, okay. I see why. Got it upside down. Okay. Beautiful Commodore logo. And I've never seen a Plus 4 in person. Wasn't really sure what to expect. This is actually smaller than I thought it would be. There's those infamous cursor keys. It looks like in really good condition. I look forward to testing this out later on. It even comes complete obviously with that manual before, and also the AC charger as well, so this is really good. You can see how the polystyrene box has been mounted by this cable, which is not uncommon. Yep, that square head connection. Okay, I'll test that out later on. What a really nice addition to the Commodore Computer Museum, the Plus 4. Okay, on to box number 2 of 3. This one's quite heavy, but it's not the big heavy one I was talking about before. We'll leave that for last. I have no idea what's in this box. It'll be quite interesting. If it's anything like the first box, that was totally awesome. Looks like we've got some games, manuals, and I don't know, some sort of cartridge, maybe printer cartridge. No, it's actually something else inside here. Original little Commodore box, but it's got the Super Expander cartridge for the VIC-20. Well, that goes with the manual I saw in the other box. I'll just leave it in here for now. What I'm trying to do with the Commodore Computer Museum is have a broad coverage of all the Commodore computers sold here in New Zealand. And so everything from the PETs to the Commodore PC compatibles and everything in between. Looks like this is still in its original container, and it still has some of its cleaning liquid in there as well. Probably a lot of that's evaporated over time. 1541 disk drive manual, and I've got one of these printers already for the museum, but I don't have the manual, so this is really great. Some marketing material for the Plus 4 by looks of it. And what's this? Okay, it just looks like a notes and documentation for the Plus 4, but I'll look at that later on. The productivity computer. As I mentioned, a bit of a flop here in New Zealand, only about 4,000 units sold. Not a great success story. Here's another VIC-20 cartridge. 16K. Yep, 16K standard RAM pack. Very nice. I just love it how these things are also in the original boxes as well. That just makes it a slightly even better. Gorth. This is a bit of a classic VIC-20 game, isn't it? Okay, I'm having a bit of trouble opening this up like I do with most boxes. Okay, excellent. No manual, but looks like the cartridge is in good condition. And now that I've got a VIC-20 to test it out on, I'll do that later on as well. Okay, so this looks like maybe floppy. Okay, so some blank floppy disks. Some blank floppy disks, they come in handy. But also, I noticed underneath here there's the 1541 floppy disk drive. I've got a few of these, all the different types of models that they've had, variants of these 1541 disk drives, but I've not got one in the box. In the History of Commodore Computers in New Zealand documentary, I've got a really interesting interview with an entrepreneur who actually utilised the memory in the 1541 disk drive to make this Commodore 64 run at about 80 kilobytes from memory. More details about that in the documentary, of course, once I put all of it together. But quite an innovative way of expanding the Commodore 64 and its processing power. But this is a very nice unit. It's really good to have the manual as well, which we unboxed a few minutes ago. Now, I've got one of these as well, but I don't have the box. Now I've also got the manual and now the box, assuming that's what's inside this box, which it is. The MPS 803 dot matrix printer. This is a great little unit. When I got my first one of these, I had no idea it was going to be so tiny. This is in really good condition. My other one, not so great condition, so it's really good to have one that's near mint. Wow, it's even got the original plastic protection over it as well. Very nice. Okay, so in the box we've just got a couple more manuals and books, some software, and that finishes off box number 2. Now this is the box I've been waiting for, box number 3. This one is the heavy one. I just hope it's not an HP item in here. I hope it actually really is a Commodore computer item in here. What I know is very, very heavy. Okay. Ooh, okay. It's got a handle. This is interesting. I can pull it up with the handle at least. Wow, okay. Already I know what this is. Any ideas, everyone? Once I get out of the way. It's a SX64. Oh, that's really awesome because I don't have one of these yet for the museum. But before I open up that, it's obviously come with some software. That's in really good condition. Gore-Tex and the microchips. I think this is a programming software, I believe, to teach young ones, kids, to how to program. It's a really good manual. It's really colourful, really bright, and it comes with the badge. Well, this nice little piece of memorabilia, and obviously the software as well itself. But it's very good. I love collecting original software as well for the museum. I'm hoping to have a huge collection of games and software for the Commodore Computers Museum, and I'll be showcasing some of those in the next coming weeks. Okay, this is I was so surprised how heavy this was. The box is really, really heavy. I'm just glad it's got this handle to be able to carry it around with. Really nice. Oh, okay, not sure what this is. Something's attached to the handle. I'll just cut that off, and could be something quite important. It's an anti-static bag, so who knows. Oh, okay. Not sure what that goes to, but obviously something to do with the SX64, so I'll better keep that aside. Oh, pretty good condition. It's got a few little cracks and dents, but considering its age, this is a really nice example of the first portable computer sold in the world, I think it was. There's a few cracks here. I'm not too sure I'm going to fix those. I don't know if they're even going to be fixable. But what a nice little unit. Nice little heavy unit. Well, there's the unboxing for this week. Some nice additions to the Commodore Computer Museum here in New Zealand. Some really interesting Commodore computers that I haven't had before for the museum. So in fact, they're in the original boxes. This is primo. Okay, well, we better get on to this opening up of the Amiga 500 as well, because I'm sure everyone's been waiting for that. And oh, wait a minute, I just discovered. Ah, okay, I was wondering where that was. Okay, here's the cable to connect the keyboard. Okay, so the Amiga 500, this I unboxed a few weeks ago, and it had the serial number 000076. And a few minor cracks there, which I'm going to have to try and fix up. And okay, it's been opened once before, and oh, that's interesting. What? Oh, okay, I usually open up Commodore 64s with my Philips connection, but this has got a little star connection. Is that normal? Is that what all Amiga 500s had? Star screws? I've never opened an Amiga 500 before, so this is all new to me. Like I said, I'm more of a Commodore 64 guy. Love all Commodores though. This is a new experience for me. So, do all Amiga 500s have star screws? Okay, let me know. So there's some thoughts about whether or not this is a genuine 000076 production Commodore Amiga 500. So by opening it up, hopefully we can work out whether or not this is the real deal, or if it's some sort of misprint on the label. I do know that by interviewing the former directors of Commodore Computers New Zealand Limited, the first 10 Amiga 500s were actually released in New Zealand. They actually had them come through their warehouse, and they were going to do something with them, but they never did, so they just went out into the market. So I'm thinking this would be original, but we'll soon find out. Obviously I'm missing the floppy disk drive straight away, so I'm going to have to find one of those. How does this keyboard come out? Is it screwed? No, it's not screwed in. It just slides out. Oh, that's quite handy. Like I said, this is my first time opening up a Amiga 500. I'm just going to have to get rid of this heat shield now. So a couple of screws here I can undo. Another interesting little fact from the documentary: about 6,000 Amiga 500s were sold in New Zealand. They came out at $14.95, or in today's terms, about 2,200 New Zealand dollars. The star type screws. So I'm starting to guess that this was standard on Amiga 500s. It wasn't the Phillips head screws that the Commodore 64 and the VIC-20 had. Okay, this should come off, I assume. No, I'm having a bit of trouble here. Okay, for some reason it's not coming off. I'll just I've got to bend up these little tabs by the looks of it. And unless I've missed a couple of screws, this should be it. I should be able to get it open from here. So what I'm going to do is show you what the internals of this Amiga 500 are, and you can let me know if it's a genuine 000076 Amiga 500. Okay, so let me know what you think. Is this the real deal? I must admit, I'm not sure what I'm looking for because I've never opened an Amiga 500 before, so but I'm sure many out there have, and they know a lot more about Amiga 500s than I ever would. It's in really good condition though. It's like there's no dust, there's no chips that are missing. Everything looks like it's complete, apart from obviously that floppy disk drive. I do have a couple Amiga 500 power supplies, so I'll try and power this up later on as well. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so here's the assembly number 312510 revision 7. Doesn't mean much to me. I'll have to do some Googling afterwards. Okay, real deal or not? Let me know in the comments below. Really appreciate it. Now that I've opened up this Amiga 500, what do you think? 000007, what did I say it was? 76? Okay, if this was number 000076 of the Amiga 500, I'd be a little bit surprised because of the date. It's on the motherboard, 1988, and also the chips seem to be all from 1988, from the 10th, 12th, 34th week. The only thing that's interesting, I jumped online and did a bit of research on the revision 7. I couldn't find anything on the internet about this. So if you know any information about the revision 7 Amiga 500, please let me know. I've got a little bit of restoring work to do on this. We can see, obviously I need to get a floppy disk drive for it. There's also some cracks that I need to fix up. No doubt I'll have to rewrite the keys, and I'll get this restored and up and running. But please, if you do have any information about the revision 7 Amiga 500, please let me know, because this one's got me stumped. Couldn't find anything on the internet about the revision 7. Thanks for watching the unboxing video as well. This is more content for the Commodore Computer Museum I plan here in New Zealand. The next video will show what we've got put together. We'll start getting into some restoration work on the Commodore 64s that I've been stockpiling, and we'll start giving those away as well. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please share information. I love your feedback. You're joining me on this journey. Even though I'm a huge fan of Commodore, I'm making a Commodore Computers history documentary here in New Zealand. I'm making the museum, but I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm first to admit that. I'm just a huge fan of Commodore. So if you've got any information you want to share, if you want to comment, please do so below. Love to know. Until next time, see you later.